Today I fucked up by losing £110 and trying to verify my identity to prevent credit card fraud. Got a call from the company that issues my Amazon card that my card was possibly compromised. Part of the process for disputing the charges is to verify your identity by taking a 5-second video and sending a photo of your driver's license. My 5-second video is me at £170, and the picture on my license is 2 years old and me at £280, so their verification said my selfie video didn't match the picture on my ID and failed to verify my account, so I could dispute the charges. The only other option was to send a letter to my house, which would take 7 to 10 days and my account would be locked until I filled out the paperwork and sent it back to them, which kind of sucks with the timing and all. An edit for further clarification and to update the story. I logged into my account with the company that issued the card after receiving a text and automated call from the card issuer. It was late at night when I made the initial call about the suspicious charges. When I ran into the verification problem, I didn't want to take the time to push the issue with the person I got in contact with when I called. I ensured that the account was locked and made this post. Called back this morning and was able to verify a different way. The two charges were disputed and the account got closed and transferred to a new account. I'll also be going to see about updating my ID. Too long didn't read. I lost £110 2 years ago and failed to update my license and couldn't verify my credit card account to dispute fraud charges. Edited first sentence to clarify the call was from the credit card company, not Amazon Retail. Edited again to update the story. Charges were disputed, account closed and transferred to new account. Going to see about updating my ID. Was it an Amazon credit card? This sounds like a scam. Patiently waiting for the follow-up. Today I fucked up. We'll see. The call was from the credit card company. I hung up the call before doing anything with it, didn't speak or push a button. Logged into my credit card account where I also had an alert to contact them, got the number for their customer support from their site and called them. This sounds like you got scammed. Why would they ask for a picture of your ID? That does not really prove anything. They should also have security questions. If I were you, monitor your credit for the next few months. I always keep an eye on my credit when something funny like this happens. The call/text was from the credit card company. I didn't answer the call or text or call the number it listed to call to talk about the issue. I went to the credit card site and logged in to get a number. The account also alerted me to call a number when I logged in. The account was froze when the suspect charge was made and remains frozen as of now. Today I fucked up. Wife broke my nose and I deserved it. Standard. This was about 5 years ago. Another important thing to note for this story is I can be a complete bellend sometimes. So my then fiance, now wife, is very easy to frighten. As the oldest of 5 siblings and 13 cousins, it has always been my solemn duty to jump out at people in the dark or around corners that scare the shit out of them. No matter how many times I do this, I find it uncontrollably hilarious, especially if the person gets mad. I obviously carried this on when moving in with S, and she would get mad every time. The madder she got, the more I laughed, and the more I laughed, the madder she got. Anyway, one day, about 5 years ago, my car was in the garage and I'd come home by train, arriving a few minutes before S. As I got in and looked out of the window, she was just pulling up. With my car not being there was no way to know I was home. So I hid under the bed. She came in, shouted to see if I was home, and I didn't respond. I waited under the bed for the best part of 20 minutes before she finally came into the bedroom. As she walked past the bed, I reached out and grabbed her ankle while shouting rah-ah-ah. Fair play to her, because she went into fight or flight and very much chose fight. With the reflexes of a cat and the strength of an ox, she spanned her other leg round and kicked me square in the nose. Even with blood pouring from my face, I was pissing myself laughing and she was fucking furious. Nose was broken and I learned my lesson. I haven't scared her even once since. And for some reason she didn't ditch me for being a bellend. We've been happily married for 3 years now. In fact, as I write this, I'm sat in the maternity ward looking at my boat. Today I fucked up a sleeping wife and daughter who we welcomed yesterday. TL/doctor, I hid under the bed to scare my wife and she kicked me in the face. The one and only time I have had a black eye was when I was hiding behind a door and jumped out in front of my mom and she punched me straight in the eye. We both had a good laugh though. I'm glad you grew out of that behavior. It's not a joke or a prank if you're the only one laughing. Your wife has the patience of a saint. Congrats on the new family. Congrats mate. Oh, one lucky dude. I know right? She married a guy with a crooked nose. Your story made me realize if I want my boyfriend to stop jumping out and scaring me, I'm going to have to break his nose. What's a bell end? British for dickhead. Today I fucked up by being entirely too free in my apartment. I'd like to preface this with a couple of details. 1. Because of COVID, I work from home. 2. I'm living on my own for the first time ever, so I've taken a lot of liberties with nudity and a lot of other NSFW stuff. I guess it all built up to this. I've earned this moment, this humiliation. Just after 9 this morning, I was sitting on my couch, with the TV on and my work laptop on the coffee table. It was a slow morning and my manly urges got a hold of me early, so I decided to battle the purple-headed yogurt slinger. For max comfort, I took my shorts and boxers off. It's easier that way. I pull out my phone and start casting some porn to the TV, a big-ass TV mind you, not a flex, but important to the story nonetheless. I finished the task, but because it's been a couple of days, I had a larger-than-life explosion which required a lot of tissues to clean up. I cleaned myself up when my Skype rang on the laptop. In the chaos of it all, I didn't shut the porn off. Instead I muted the TV so it was still playing in the background. I answered the call and spoke to the client. So here I am, sitting on my couch like Pooh Bear with only my shirt on, dick redder than a tomato, half a dozen tissues so obviously smeared with cum sitting next to my laptop, with muted porn playing on my TV, talking to a client about some sensitive information when my building manager and handyman walk in to discover the scene. It didn't help that the porn playing on my TV was a glory hole cream pie compilation. Anyway, apparently they knocked first, but I didn't hear because I was talking to this guy on a headset. Worst part is that I knew they were coming because they emailed all the tenants yesterday to let us know some units will have heat sensors installed for more efficient radiator functionality. But the timing of it all, as usual, was rigged against me. The building manager, a woman, maybe a few years older than me, stormed out. All I saw was her wide eyes feasting on the scene against all her willpower before turning away to leave. At least my apartment was nice and clean. The handyman, a young guy, smiled. Even though he had a mask on, his eyes screamed with laughter. He set the sensor down on the table near the entrance and told me to drill a hole in the wall by the door and hang this up. He chuckled and left. I barely made it through the rest of the call. I've never had my brain flooded with so many thoughts, alarms, feelings all at once. I wanted to die. I wrapped up the call, got dressed, turned everything off and sat in silence for a good hour, hardly moving at all. To my relief, the building manager has since emailed everyone to let us know the sensors were installed successfully, sparing me from humiliation. No emails have been sent by her to me directly, not yet at least. Even if I'm not moving, I decided, fuck it, this is me. This is my life. Too long didn't read. My building manager and handyman walked into my apartment to find me sitting on my couch in only my t-shirt, talking to a man on a headset and porn playing muted on my TV, all for them to see. I don't see this as a fuck up. A building manager of all people that goes into people's apartments should know there is always a chance of interrupting someone doing something embarrassing and act accordingly. You were doing perfectly acceptable personal activities in the privacy of your own home, and she should understand that and keep a professional if not amused attitude towards it like the contractor did. So the moral of this story is real life is not like a porno. Sitting on my couch like Pooh Bear. Oh bother, indeed. At least you've learned an important lesson early on. Whenever you're home, keep the chain on the door! Exclamation mark. This. You have locks for a reason, guy. Also, everybody does it, so just don't worry. So she knows you've got a healthy libido. It's quarantine. Makes for a good story, and I can guarantee she's seen worse. She probably has to deal with disgusting plumbing issues. Your red dick has nothing on someone's overflowed shit on the floor, lol. Don't be so hard on yourself. Bar dum dum. This story has murdered my sides. God, I love these kinds of unbelievable stories you couldn't make up if you tried. The only thing I'd like to hear would be the conversation between the manager and the lad with her about it. Regardless, I'm sure they just had a good laugh about it later. It's kind of expected, people do weird shit after being locked up for so long now.